Yeah, and then go another no panina. I'm a pay fan of panina and I may. Hello, coin, could you come over now? Able producer, I wish for and a ukuada. February, and that also a do and na yeah, and they do much 18th of February 2026. And yeah, Babako, yeah, issues more on hot in the evening. It's a Mobibiara Aquaba. Na last week, in fact, last Monday, by a professor say, as usual, today we have to come back and look at some of the issues at me about system no more for this week. Now, and I'm guessing, and they know we'll community no. We'll pick on the very topical issues where you hear that kind of consideration. Now, you do home ebi. As usual, my good friend CJ Lewis is in the house. The Otafrija Kwamna Ampra Techi. Patna Natu Nedrum. And many are my penny. Papa Kwasi Eson Abua Fante Santi Ghana Nekron on also former chief executive. I think you are still current chief executive. And Hazakes FC.
Now I've moved to a friend and new DBRC.
Oh, so now you are the
Yeah.
chief executive for New DBRC.
Oh,
then what happened? Former chief executive officer of Hazakes and now currently the chief executive of New DBRC Football Club, which are for Mr. Samuel Abua is seated. I'm expecting media legend, media personality, a radio university professor himself, Mr. Kwasi Mensah, to also join us later on the show. Ebedi enkomo afa some few issues me pese di ho nkomo na wan kasampo be pese obetimu bi because ensemo no de ebi etwa gu papa. First of all, you behwe LGBT parliament and I say speaker ashe members of the bar first and I say a parliament and say omonsan family bill na Akufo-Addo na ansan ya omeba na omo de baby wa speaker any aban papa by the ebehwe na President Mahama atumi assign krata na mawom. I still maintain that whole enterprise is not very necessary, but nyame nko na me wo mem and a lot of people think say it is necessary. We have to have it, and other than that, the society no say air pro. We will look at that. Say really, adeɛ say air pro, and I say adeɛ ma ɔman say air pro Ghana ha. A bit me the LGBT account compared to Galam say dear partner, and as a woman hina ma ɔman no air pro say yebehwe. Ene ya nya ntie say President Mahama and I send this aban e de abase ensemo a na nkrofo petitions omo twetwe e de bre no senka onya so no hwe na onyi electoral commissioner and the deputies na afei won science so enyi office of the special prosecutors our partner home botu onyi omo wienu nyina mfiri no chief justice de abase omo ko hwe mu no omo case no ugina so e de bo omo ko adu a enye yi enti no omuenu obi abetumi akọ asa akoto na adwuma so enkrofo afa ne se David ehu na e aba ban because na se omo ne menema bi e mom popularity no e take off from kuku akwafo emfa nche wo mo ene ade enu nti na bi a omampanyi Mahama opase oka me tempest na onkofa more problems emeka hunti odeko because include according to many people including myself so we compare and some lapses are SC under ECG men and deputies Ejuma at the Electoral Commission. Now they compare whatever charge by Korea to me the ball former CJ Araba Tokunua. I believe says EC Nikofia and more justified since Tokuno Ebekofie. I will ask my gentlemen what they think about that. Nafi Yako Yenim Ewo home. At some crofo me so ako frimu. No, nyemi be some few traders member Akopie mu Burkina, DNT and Ghana with all the resources and arable lands we have, things like tomatoes and stuff like that, yentumi enyebi wa ha na yekwa bonten ekofa ema the free hobama yen kunya akwanhia bi etise eno so ebedi ho nkomo ewa MPP mu so omode some reforms bi aba we kwada nya reforms omode reorganization timetable bi aba CJ wa haide ebekom bio a free match August more baby and this in fact September MPP ewo nema ye de be nema eno paso mo ye how is it going to help their party after atese Kennedy ohene Japan enkofo fe na akompreko ebi frɛ no tutujagu ebi frɛ no nana very marketinga no kasa na asase wo so yatese ne nkrofo bi anomota na chi ekɔ primaries na amfa no omo paso omo hye na chi na okote the base e di bibribe we are said to political parties no enya bi about the political parties the base they say never mean and no say you be hwe ne edum komo say ampa no ebeboa Kennedy amra ye de opose oye na say ontena party ni musa na party na so pekwan bi tu no munya no kwan. CJ is in the house, Mr. Abo is in the house, Mr. Asise is at the gate. We are going to welcome him na yediako. But before we bring him in, CJ, let me pick your thoughts on the C Burkina no. Last Monday I can was some kakra. So far I tend to say as an PBF remember name mono enya se o mampanyi ane Burkina Faso edin sa woso se de be ya adehia omotiase no ebeba ene omo nso omo free mu no so ebenya omo mu ne kedo maba how far with that obetumi aboa yen kakra na afi odi afa MPP before reorganization time table omo de aba no nti ye mapato yenti o
yo go simi da se chi fo nyina da o ma se setembe omo nya bre no omo hwe aside now no I'm say Monday you didn't come on no say na most of your concern nyina ye say baby at time edru ya yenya ntinka e bia free Minister of Foreign Affairs and we chi no so na Minister of Interior and they can say my Foreign Affairs they can ho asem it now we are talking about the hypocrisy ema okuje tu abrakwa na wontimi kan ho hwe aside then no the order na ye hwe ni mu say pese ti bibi free okuje tu and then actually ni ebeka say a Kosanka government kwa facilitate lifting themselves victims no beba Ghana. But as at now, unfortunately, I'm say Nyankopon adom and some na kind them say about na supermama President Mahama Ashamo Mako LFT the injured aba. Again, you minim said the mass lapses when you na ba nyina ye Minister of Defense. Minim the reason here President Mahama as at now ontimi Minister of Defense. So what I'm reason to be into the because akonya na da ho no more than 4 months ni the Ministry of Defense. Because we said this issue, then defense stroke foreign affairs have to liaison because we have to airlift the victims. The finance minister said as far as here, Koko Chanemano, or no Korean or acting defense minister. So same person now will have to liaison with foreign affairs. I could thank us. I mean, baby, I know why this issue this year, you know, or trans was
out of the country.
Out of the country, says Venezuela. They see a friend say Venezuela. They say no. Only
he was not in America. He was not in Venezuela.
What I say, and to a issue statement said they are offended. Say monitoring the status of issue. Na monitoring cry or ye. Na say minim say F-35 no so obi or no ma wait till they are called rescue and do about
in Ghana. F-35 is very expensive.
All said and done, no, we believe the President Mahama actually, though it was late, it's still okay. What Timmy lifted the victims, no, at the Omaba. But as I now know, the panel movie and the Yanti was a many as a man be so on ma, they were rescued. But it's a people to the Omaba as I now.
We are alive.
Yeah, we are alive, which no me injured. And me name a man now, which I say a group of Moncha, yeah, I don't know where they are, their status.
You bring an interesting topic. Say, since Dr. Omanebuama passed away, you know, may so rest in peace. No, with all the other honorable members are no more a It's been quite a time, and the defense is a very crucial ministry. It should be run by a substantive minister itself. But me review all this. I think that many people are escaping.
Yes.
Look at finance. Finance is loaded with all the commentaries around Ghana finance. All the Ghana finance has a Ghana football. Ubia a coach, Mubia to me children. Oh no! So to have a finance minister doubling as defense minister, yeah, some of these issues are a bit me I escape. But so much many true about no more a moon be so be maybe we can give them
the moon de minyanti hwase me asefem na why nti Ghana pa this 21st Gen Z century pa yentimi ndua tomatoes for Ghana ha we have to go Burkina ansani akwakofa na Burkina ne Ghana hefa na friends fertile land I don't get it. Yes, because desert no Burkina hono do say ho bi da ho kakra those dry lands no and now what name friends say tropical no so e bi wa ha bebrebe so irrigation ni yentimi nye ana say mintiasio
no the entiase kakra wo mu say o say ye krase Ghana say obey very very objective you nuane free stream ba sometimes you wonder which land bayre puna ina ne de nyina wo de ne esa de ha bia enye de sa if free stream ba e de pa nkatia o de ba sa date palm ne some other tropical fruits bi ne nuts bi huna still na timi wo stream na. One thing I got to know from somebody who free Ghana but Odigwa free Bogatanga Eko Burkina Eba ne say omo ya west omo land no ene omo weather na terrible. Inti as part of omo abai no irrigation for agri purposes no exclusively borne by government. Ono so no enam say omo weather ni harsh inti no enye se kuvuado amena na etunu keke say ye hwese nsuba betema betema binu ya ye hunu mbu friend pond no omo mechanizing no to the point say solar and power the irrigation water system omo ye for queer purposes. And some of this queer those in nyima ya any free akono idea as stable water and a good weather like omo de na you can do it all year round. I can have about 3 harvests within a year. And I had with 8 years of planting for food and job minim generator ba kokra aban toys between the pumping shoe akugu a so-called irrigation system bimu a power amankophobia na sequophobia nya so eno na ma omo sa omo land yin echi no still omo tuminya all year produce of some of these crops
because yeah some okay irrigation some now okay irrigation na a friend say one district one dam ne kwesi
I don't know
Palugu dam but this say almost spend over $12 million or so. What happened to it?
Yeah, and the questions are some people in government now are asking an opposition for no person who raises as a move and if they say it's a greater crime minister so to man woman say if you people are done the Palugu dam and can ask them
only locust Palugu dam started at one time Rollins time the glory was friends Chairman Rollins as a democracy Rollins as now before then coming back all this while into your
that's all successive governments.
Successive governments, you know, about the design is there, the plan is there, goodwill, and there was all we invest into it. I mean, if the entire Ghana na yetina, they be urban biano, or move focus on it, but they be called rural, but you say ripple effect. Don't rural, at the end of the day, no, it will trickle down to the urban say
urban area.
What you say? Yeah. Sika almost say for almost inside the cover tomatoes in bad. And your foreign estate. Foreign estate. Say for almost inside the cover Jane in bad. Onions bad. And your foreign estate.
And also you know to the benefit of that country. Yeah, wow.
What I say at the same time, so employment, source of employment. Yeah. So what I say, the J boys here say on the number home to travel. A do season be a who back crime and travel. Omina Moko could ya onions. Okay. So what I say. And yeah, we have soon unemployment. Meanwhile, also there, you quite a bit more fast addressing it sharply, at least a bit declined by a certain.
Mammy, why do you think say planting and food and job? Because nobody can justify.
One year didn't to all.
And a Greek minister, Alan Anaza, minister. A Greek minister.
A Greek minister.
No coffee crowd, we can say without planting for food and job.
Because you're serious or no, maybe serious.
Okay, I don't know yet. Chapter by Quaco, but before say move on, what is the MPP reorganization strategy now, Modiabano?
Yeah, I would say before my friends say our primaries for the flag bearer. I say a friends a top down approach. Right now, no, they want to debunk that rumor. Say a top down approach. Now, no more filling the vacuum I will for the flag bearer. Yeah, because as at now, no. Or more moving no mandate and spy. Yeah. The only person I know money the flag bearer. Yeah. So they elect that one and then one started the rest. No. It will share what the table. We have what they in the Dikai.
Chidi first Dikai membership first match to 31st March or more
membership. Yeah. It's membership top down approach and I say bottom down approach.
I think it's a general approach.
General approach now because membership is beginner. Yeah. From membership, then you go to what?
Verification 1st April to 14th April 2026. Now, membership in the church, new entrance and
entrance.
Will be a password membership card. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And normally, how many? 1 month in a year, the whole of March.
So there's some vetted so that at least you know you are dealing with the right people. Yeah.
This is
I need the card national.
That's the first one I need them.
Oh, Debbie. Omonya is happy. Also, one person do stage. Every card holding hold bearing member. Yeah. Also, it's one to aba.
Very well, maybe. Verification 1st to 14th April, 2 weeks, or they not verify.
Also, work for membership. Okay. Or my compiling with you. You have to go and verify. Say indeed, Matthias, they have your details
police
correct.
Police station election. Okay.
Yes.
And you know.
And your police station agent, and your police station chairman.
That is in May, 10th to 16th May. Electoral area, 10th to 15th June. Now, for constituency elections in here, 11th to 12th July. 2 days.
Constituency secretary, chairman, and all that.
Yeah. Now regionals now 8th, 9th August. Then we have external branches chapters starting from 20th June to 19th July. For MPP4 so-called reorganization path. And then Matisse Justin Frimpong, the general secretary, is talking. He's beginning to pick a lot of what Fifi also spelled for the NDC, but maybe Friday we'll get the details of what he said, and then we'll do proper comparison. Me, I recommend and say MPP must learn from NDC on that particular new strategy. Fifi Edebayeno. Bako phone to many post me and Santana and Yansabra party will be only post back. So I think it's a step.
I think the MPP did that too. Because previous election, who hold a certain position, not even contesting for MP. You have to resign
and the MPs now heard that critics had to protect.
Yeah, say starting from B.
No, and then
it's the same as for instance, gold for oil. Gold for oil and mark a good board. It is I don't think so MPP rather it's rather the vice.
No, that particular movement or more because that those days no. Now a lot of the NPP
you see also CEOs they had a lot of resources.
Yes.
So yeah, it is a pino yen Juma maybe
now contest will come from the same district. Why do you work alone?
The salary is around 850,000. Allowance BBA coming with 400,000 a month. It will bet me that in about 300 or constituency every year be another amount. It is such person come so by contest. Do you think so will lose?
Maybe. So the contest no uska na uniska. The say omomon contest no. Any democratic. Here is it. Where MBC no. It ends with party executives. Parliamentary candidate and your party executive. And your party position. Even though you're on the ticket of the party. but it's entirely different from chairman of the party, vice chairman of the party, general secretary, and all that. And then no more constitution. Constitution, there's nothing like parliamentary candidate, IBIAO, NDC, and as MPP. What happens to the MP is not, anywhere near what happens to the party executives. It ends at the party. It is a Ubi or party name. Not say or contest the MP or Kruma. He doesn't need to resign because there's no any party position. You understand? That's why I'm saying that the MPP then they're wicked because Omo MPs dictatorship tactics now be so basic from there.
No, it wasn't like you can't contest if you are a CEO. You have a timeline.
Yeah.
Within this timeline, resign.
It was unfair. It was unfair. They didn't have to resign.
Now would they have been fair to the MP or no? Or play common road and farmer. Look at now friends say not to see. What some be asked on kind. So I say what some be asked on kind. It's a puny here na their constituency. So what I say, let's see you as I say, at least Baba adapting the from constituency. Or how many patron near the envelope abroad. Or how many 200 near the abroad. Because of the muscle to do it. MPD no.
MP minimum had stayed there for years and no more.
I understand. It's just CEO. You can say my own contest. They didn't say that. They said I think was a year or month or 6 months.
I think 6 months to the election.
Yeah, so it was fair. 6 months is not too much. If you can't forgo your salary for 6 months, then why
would somebody who is aspiring to become a parliamentary candidate or coming to contest a parliamentary candidate in your area have to resign 6 months before?
I prefer fair to say. Level.
We are not the only one in the house. Let's talk to some elders here.
Sure.
Papa, now please let me invite you into this. Your take on what happened in Burkina, why Ghana is still.
Because you want me brief a year about Burkina issue. No?
Oh, because I'm Jini and then your member one and I'm different town. I think it's insurgents be sorry terrorists.
Okay.
Western powers na some citizens be here or cover terrorists from Mali near there. I hear on description now. These very attackers on attack they are not even from Burkina. They speak French all right, but we hired mercenaries from the northern or some parts of the northern West Africa enclave. And near Ghana for the for Kaibi and Omambushi. The men in the car wanted to resist. They killed some of them, burned the car, and then abducted the women. Later on, the president and interior minister crying and updating some of the survivors back home, and Omoko left it. Anyone I bet me I left in the back here. That's so far about the Burkina issue. Why didn't he still now? I say in Nigeria before because I do in Saturday in 70s now. A petition now you do before to me the fro Burkina. Omo ba no matoto by Jane into but Jane into today. I think say a car Jumbi Abekobia a calm calendar one said this time for Burkina. Antimate Jum Aswasi Jumia or Burkina cars cry to Echo Street. So why? Abra government what the yente crime recent why in a bit refer to your planting for food and jobs. They had access in 8 years to do whatever they want to do. But as we I've always been saying that. So how come a country like Ghana with our land and everything compared to Burkina can do some of these things all year round? My any free hakwa to be. Yes, I said na udia biano e ma na say any anya ya say be.
Akwesi Mensah make say a unfortunate situation. We know idwade de say etumi kwa China nyina akodi dwaba. Enti eno no nkyere say Ghana for to be crofufro bi sun kodidwa but a unfortunate situation na happen be ma omo a omabusua akosa amane we mu yakọ ya Ghana for so nyina yakọ and want to mean some of these things nyade a aban okita interior ministers be 10 krampa
but you can avoid some of
the defense ministers be 20 krana be avoid accident and asanko for no kotom. And no stress or say Africa, you may need that. And then the main problem you as you so. You're doing your party politics, but in your ma equity and angasana is ye ni if it's an your man. That is more reason why recently no say in Chroma debate say Kotukakra or a hero say oh my tum kroma because you see me tse sasa na me hu say I see yandwene ye bi politics na ma yadwene na ye kete yandwene ye because the reason make us obi our opinion no but so who can something like this about nkroma who can something like this about nkroma or so woman wadwene no ye adwuma because they say your friend is saying
as o di nyame atem yeah no we for serious that
because apart from nkroma on bro say o criticize no but there is a file a wo see ubetimi verify see omo ama yetu see ayefo no omo ama mutu yetu nkroma na ankasa atworo what I say so omo na ma kotoka mo etu nkroma so if you tell me say situation be say no kotoka no mum e deserve so say e dey to so nkroma dey na nko say o ma no enti say yenya obi ti say kotoka na so wetumi etu nkroma dey a airport
ento no
unya abranti wa ko school wa duro because of politics nti you see and make us politics na ma ya bodam e ma ya ndwunu ye un say dambo no enye
nya na o fia na wo
un say adwunu to me block certain part need to be block wo nyama bia nko senka
you can open the mind to see the other side
because nkoma hu sa de we mu a long time so hu sa bandit ne hwan mu na nkoma hu sa ne mu we
and quite no person united
exactly it's in case situation kran ke enko to me in the first place
United States of Africa but this I don't care realize it.
So what I say into no me unfortunate say o mamanfo akoto sa de but wonim eno ntina de bia na ya na me ya say omo a politically no omo benefit from the party no omo support parties na say omo japade na e ma homte because we no akoto sa amane we
omo go say former PBA former DCBA
on the bank
ambassador bia so bia nim tieni a hiafo ya
you hiafo na ye mum no say ye support o ma ye fa ne say ye busua I say ye busua ye free mu no o fa NDC or the two NDC no to wa oka bibia NDC cha bibia NDC be bia onyan ohune onte
there are many of us like that
MPP sir ye mum no ene ye say o ma no
say agree people go watch be 3 e o kan fo bi o ne wala fo bi zo
na when you say I was say woman say internal politics no more the than external one so intino be bia na me opportunity na me ka say ye mum na ye man mu na ye benefit for ye nya party for no because omo ye we executives omo ye adwuma wo just inkodua or a lawyer but MPP to the kabosun bia
no go be ka kwat na office o
omo na benefit na bi mu fifi kote mu omo de adwuma omo so omo ye no what I didn't like a aban enwini power ye won kofo bi echusu omo
ekwa aban mu
say mu nko ye adwuma na de wi ato wa say ko cocoa board wo kwa ha ko forestry omo de adwuma omo afade so omo ye no into say kofo na ikasa it should be different from wo na wo support wo teacher ni a wo te classroom a wo try dey abosum so na educate classroom o so no mo adwene da ho no we say no ya o see bo man in such a way that Chidi me ba kokoro na me de dey ma me ba ebetimi atina Ghana ha because adwuma wa ha me be betimi nya bia
me kra na me nyina me da mo kra no something from the system must support me to live my last days ni pa say me suffer high my how dey bad ne ma ye enjoy nyina no we nyanse nyamede and daw ye nyina no we are not enjoying any benefit
e dey na nya
say your gold insurance bi da wa we do 60 years and above
I can tell you say ahwe kwa ye kwete gold kwa bia ye hu
me hu bi da sasante from the ama TV so men
so what I say
you hu bi da
cocoa bees grass one cocoa grass wunya ba cocoa ntu
and me hu
but so I just walk grass nti no say ye me adwene da ho na man kofo no ye dom ye to abama mu ni say ye dom be sisu say omundwene o man no na o man ni ye se me a da chi me ba kokora na me dede ma me ba ma ti me sika ne ma ho ode nyina hwe no onja me ho kotena broche bi ko se dwuma ni ya
thank you
na say weekend bi wo ho no ma obetimi ne me nananom
abesra mi
me nyina tu se didi
for 3 days
na me so bra me bra nyina hwe me ba ni nyina mfa so abaso but nde wo ba kokora no dede ma wo ba ti abochire obewu because o man mu nya because ye mo nko se ye show mo ye o man ye no ye show mo na ya fa political party say ye
exactly because we from all the time abrofo ni kan how mo hear so much na gold omo fa ne say ne de ye nka ho asem wa mo de be kon agriculture no mo de sustain ye ho e wa even in Chroma crowd bar later, we be picky national focused agriculture de koya. I think that's sense in Chroma koya no. Yenya regime bia would need to say why.
Well, isn't a try kakrapo.
Yeah, so with the Jurani, as a district farms, if you are never a mover and a never so it's statistical role and almost a champion time on friend will be operation feed yourself. And the idea was
situation and a woman.
So how come say with all the beyond the gold and other resources, no, you sound so war Arabo land there. A camera say a DB do addition for more biano. Yes, I say why would you be? How comes he to me in you know, this national focus farming, because so capture me school feeding this animana. Abra wuni ebru full class or maya. Na so be feed you or man for ma every day. Bob school them beyond from primary to secondary school be feed you ma. It bears the question say, what is going on?
The bottom.
What is going on?
Politics are my bottom.
See a crown and more for Ukraine. And the abra oh
yes.
Why?
It's unfortunate, but see, I'm for pressure to omomoti or man muno swa. Ne jai politicians they say you back metana high back you back sa dibia sa na be bet so ban do baba no ense some big gidigidibians
yeah apart from human faces now the position names BSS no
big gidigidibians because the same process no na from and so no be
yeah
what you say also two bribes ma all your friend is a police station one for no mo to abama na ansa no akoho na okoho no okofas kan wan ba
okay we be akako but we free we run down MPP ni justification mo dia ba reorganization path 1 month ago na NDC do mo dia ba almost so mo spread up to I think December and I said started December ankasa. This argument say government positioner resign before you come to contest party position. Do you think the distinction should be clear that
government position? Say we a
board mayor on a certain state organization,
yeah.
We CEO,
now party,
we a minister, or a staffer, or something. Now per party executive at constituency or national level, you have to stop the work that you are doing before you come and contest.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me.
I think it does so.
No, it doesn't. Me, but
yeah.
Personally, it
Explain
doesn't
yourself.
Because when him, you join party, you cheer dues. And now me ye juma say ya ban juma, aban na me juma, aban ko party ni nya aban. Or say yes, a distinction. Party is different from government.
Yeah.
But through party,
and
government.
Yeah.
But two different things.
Yeah.
What I say because in here aban na NDC worker.
Never.
NDC executives nya aban na
parties cannot
party no munya ska went through their dues in this annual. What baby o mo kasa generate chom sika bia ya o mo amasem.
Yeah.
Nti me party ni na me ye adwuma se me teacher ni a. Do you tell me say because me ye teacher ni nti no? Me ba
nya ban adwuma pe.
Aha, na me ka say teacher ni aban na after teacher ni.
Do mo refer to aban here, let's say government, not the public services and civil service no, but government post. Bibi ti say CEO say any party ne buy na appoint you CEO a eno no yen ko hu school DC and MC party buy na do be show it wo party na ye nyina ye dede no ya ti ase say wo dede na no odin it ya ma wo ba bia wo expertise bit my adwuma wo abede wa ko show what I say wo didi
Matthias
how destiny party post no
Matthias but do no the question doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
wo dey emphasize Samije Mfi example Samije Mfi NDC.
Yeah.
No, national communications.
Or that's so no.
No, because no, and some of my buy mono. Or buy mono, Yamano, CEO, gold board. Fine. Oshak is a fairness, Samija fiscal, no.
Yeah, of communication.
Communication now. Or Boama NDC party,
he did a lot in those days.
So are you telling me that Sisana Samija Mfi, a fairness and gold board CEO, no? Who you skill set na Samija Mfi wono? Because when you are buying appointment,
so I resign. What do you mean?
That's
no reasonable person. So because I resign, see
you party. Party no also who you need now more government no power, and I say society power.
Yeah.
And I say who share more executives and more interest.
Yeah.
Instead of because it doesn't make sense to me. No. You look at the skill set in the one.
Yeah.
Now you man a chance. But when the only in say they don't care about skill set.
There
Political parties don't care about the skill set.
What do they care about?
They care about say mobilizing any bibia no mo amaye. Because yes, some of the video typical example. Say as a skillful communicator like Sammy V.
Who's available? Baby, interest to still but let's be objective. Yeah, stay on Sammy before a while. Sammy the output as communication officer for the party, national communication officer, in all the 8 years. Now I heard the last 1 year, obey CEO gold board now. Clearly, the duties and then the focus is more on the gold board than on the party communication. See, also remember out and also be engaged media is mostly about gold issues and now gold trading issues. It's not necessarily about ABI issue. Right now is the secretary of the party, Fifi Kwete, and the chairman of the party who are running the show. Nobody else seems to be very much involved the way they were involved, let's say 2 years ago. So don't you see clearly? Nipanam say when your appointment, the focus and the dedication to party issues, genuinely, I don't know. This be on one that, but we may be in the COD. We meetings very 4 times in a day. What I say about 3 hotels and then 4 conference halls. It what do you mean that I didn't make party, may party humanist. So we are saying say. Every before I be friend Eddie Diaja. Because I think Eddie Diaja simply means that nipa baako enya dwuma bebre me bi nya bi. It ono no nya multiple streams of income. Abra obi nso eni ebi kura. So let's make some regulations there. Say the beya obi a betime all for one for all. Each one to them. We have a book bi anya kan that beyond the shift. That's our terms do. So let as much as possible create opportunity for as many people to have something to do in this system. Because this system only applies when the party is in power. MPP to opposition, but once you come into power, so one can be attendance now. It could happen say, Obi beti maji baku mienu miensa aboswa obi enye bi a beti me di Aditya syndrome number and the party anti-party membranes na they about who say a creative rift. We happened in MPP.
I question na make say mono party na martin na dent na martin party no.
Oh man no.
So party some we need political power. And also maintain political power. Me
Yeah.
E den more maintain political power and also we need political power. Uhia nkofo a omo sam nimdie bi.
Yeah.
Omo nimdie no bro nkofo bi die so because nimdie obi a obenya bi ba anya pe.
Enya peda.
Enti se me wo Kwasi Mensah na Kwasi Mensah betumi ama me enya power. And also Kwasi Mensah betumi ama me ma retain power. I don't think America say because Kwasi Mensah enye adwuma bi eyewa because MPP for asema wo ka so more opposition na.
Yeah.
Most of nkofo nya omo so ye adwuma wo.
Yeah.
If enya aban but omo ye adwuma.
Omo ye adwuma.
Nti oba ya jam say ye fair me saying miracle no onye adwuma bia.
Ndem adwuma no ye de.
So what you say?
Surely he.
Onye adwuma wo ba be mo onye scale so obe run the business.
Yeah.
No run business enye adwuma. Dem no what you say?
That really say.
No run business enye adwuma.
Yeah.
Enti no tumi nka say because of say we nya appointment no ntu. Yem fa wo scale na wo ni nyina nto nchen. Scale na ka bo party no ama party na win power na so obe retain power no. Yem fa nto nchen na yenkofa obi
Foforo
obi a ontumi ma wo saa nyoma na nka wo betumi ayama ye no. Ntem ka say me to me
okay.
Enye fair.
Okay. Hey. Chairman. Yeah. I heard that man crying in I say we that's the opening for maternity. Mr. Asise, welcome to Afro City Extra. Yes, and thank for your gracious time here because in time and minimum say it's over because brothers, what are brothers for?
Yeah.
Now we have heard some 2 arguments be so far. I don't know how far you are into what happened into the Burkina and if you have anything to say about that. Then we come to this party restructuring, who know 2 major political parties. I know you hardly talk openly about party politics, but and you may show. What I say, when it's never be sana and come on, it can dwindle, and I say it can trickle down there as well. What do you think? Do you think say there should be a clear distinction between a party member who works for the party when they are in government and a party member who works for the government when they are in government? And why should one, resign the other if they want to go for the other? And no, yeah, be Drusian. After that, we can go and look at some other topics.
Yo, Kwasi,
Say,
Burkina Faso is an unfortunate situation.
it's a terrible accident.
But Ghana Hanoi, SMC, near Tati Kasapipri, is normal and unfortunate. Accident, see, baby, you're attacking Crawford, the beer. And you know, the Abane, you know, say, on Bombardier, say, Yedi Biaba, na yebeto to nyeme na ya hwese. In fact, edian na ebi dwade bia ebi ko Togo ebi ko Nigeria ko Bama ebi ko Dubai iti minim de enti a aye dede bebrebe sa. It's an unfortunate situation that can happen to obia odi dwa bia. If you say wo hwe eniama na ye fan say ne aduane na yedi no ukodomu a ye be ka to say we asante kwadu we Burkina
Asante ko dozu hu ya no hu
we ana na me pe child yo mo friend abrofu kwadu from the domain enti no obia wo de ope enti si edua tomatoes sedien wo Ghana ha esa say yen tomatoes no ne de no nko any Burkina de nko no definitely obia be pese obe fat dia no ope nti tie dia tomatoes bebre no nkyere say ye be di tomatoes na wa hana
adweba no ye
say ye kase as o man no ye mpese ye be ye di tomatoes be free baby fufura ba na ye boa na ye ankase ye kwiedifo no omo niam na omodua na omonya so mfaso nti ye be di Ghana tomatoes eno no de wo de niam bi sise etu akwam say na ye bi say chocolate day so that ye be di Ghana chocolate say na fugu ya be ya ye pesi ye promote
makrabi
nti nukwe nyame anim ni de it's an unfortunate situation but me ni say say ye pejamu ni ye ne bebrebe sa because e bi tu kwan de bia na niam akosi ye ntehwe akoba na say we no makodo so na omakosia akwanhia na ma na yesa bebrebe tu kwan a omukonya akwanhia
Malaysia for pay na omunipa be se 300 tim na eira no omo na nya terrorist na kotebo so omo wi
good but good so
plane Kwasi hu still
so now party structure asem na wo kan yemfa party structure no ento ho yenim say party structure no ye bi ye tu hu ache and na one more you running day to day activities no omuna ye be kase ye betua wo mo ka nti se wo si obi be ye party executive no fa na dwuma nto ho a wo betua ne ka na
dwuma no na dwuma no
party rule no me yetua ne ka na
se me tie fifi very well na dwuma no it's not like sebi wadwuma we ye dadajai ana se we nurse ya jai we lawyer jai we police ya jai debi adwuma no ye se ya ba aban mu se bi aban ayo MC oh no ana DC na fe ye sa pe constituency chairman e wo sa kuro na mu a na so we DC so ka se wo ba be chairman ah be easy ama because wo ka wo betima kokwa ha betima wo ka kwase bi nyona tofu na we DC na say one go for be fie ni ade ntino the tendency of people voting for you because you're DC is high. Now if you never back on we DC come constituency chairman. So why should you be a government appointed DC in the ruling party of the NDC and still come to NDC and contest for, let's say, MCE in your constituency, knowing full you will win. In the event that you win, me I may not contest you know. Me traffic as the money dear Jamie.
Now but today, yeah, assumption view.
Okay.
I told you say one more music can go on winning less in no crew.
And so
though they stand a higher chance of winning.
Yeah.
But anima be plays a role. Yen na way.
Every before internal primary.
What you say? Many points me say number one, young fan say your mawa appointment.
Yeah.
Ukra party position.
Yeah.
Sa party position na ukra no yentua woka. Eye tu ho ache.
But a appointment and I say your party position.
Eye party position,
okay.
But eye tu ho ache yentua woka.
What position is like that?
Mean to me nka say and I make say yemfa party structure no.
Yeah.
Ento ho.
Yeah.
Executives are ye to abama wo mo. Yentua wo mo kan. Eye tu ho ache. Ye wo mo a almost day to day running.
Yeah.
It applies to almost every party no organizations no net here. Yeah, me so na yeah executives ni ntweka.
No,
But you were secretary and you were administrator.
Yeah.
Omo ni yetwa wo mo ka no mo sha because party na gaza no no onye ska free.
Yeah.
Na dues nis and man na sa dues nis and we adwuma.
Yeah.
But come to think of it. So die we yes say your address. I hear me say a buying running government business no.
Yeah.
I hear too lucrative. The man I hear very lucrative. Until I hear any bread there say so will be a person. Uraho.
Yeah.
The name said the American.
I'm following.
Because under normal circumstance, you two are very rare. As I said, all party members, all party naming in a equada. In name said the American.
Yes, for the ruling
because
party.
Yes, party no. Party no say they corporate to me.
2 minutes yenya.
Yenya to me na. E dey be bio na wo ho a. Wa ba ban mu. Mo rane aban mu. Nti wo ma yeyi wo mo se o ye yemfa say we minister we say we omo gina homa party no then to make sure that you run aban ni ye nti ye kobio a ye beto asa ye besan ato amame.
Getting your point.
Na opposition ni nso no wo so kotena ase na dia wanye ni ye na ma ulusu ye no go back to the drawing board. Na mo fa mo ho plans and come back again when it is getting close to elections. That is how it's supposed to be. Until fifi kwete na maintenance. Because technically, you only start functioning when it's getting close to an election.
And you are about 3 years away from
at that
election.
time, you know, so Katoni Pakuno say on resigning poor. He has a small time I bet to about he can make a decision.
Against the party?
No, say there. I can't be as a 1 year and 3 months or 4 months here bet to abano.
Yeah.
What you are saying?
Yeah.
The man that you are saying that young fans say, oh, you should submit in fear. Submit in fear. I feel I'm a dumano. I bet sorry.
Yeah.
So what will he be doing at Cocoa Board then? And Gold Board. Because technically, Gold Board no was setting up BBA running election. So not doing any Gold Board phobia because you have about 4 months or 5 months to election. He can go into the party full swing and work. And the Dumano Yanozoni pianica. In the meantime,
no, but sometimes Papa
Isaac might be
I think you're coherent enough. Papa made some observations there. At the national level, no, maybe the general secretary and those stuff people no they are paid somehow.
You see, I think it's a one-time thing. And yeah, busumi biya the mount.
But this is chama say you can say you man no.
Exactly. It's I didn't like us your money MC or resigning party there. Because technically when your party is in government, the party na juma be na wo ye. Where juma na wo ye no is the governance
of the country.
Exactly. It's the because I mean here and no be mamo you be retain him in power and now say you be voted against. Benim say I don't know whether I'm making sense.
Now I'm beginning to understand where
you understand because technically the party is supposed to win elections.
Yes. Yeah, we need.
Everybody comes together. Ye wini we are ye kwa ye ejuma.
Yeah.
Ejuma na ye kwa ye no So that will be retained. And this is where Dr. Tony Edu comes to power. See, the 2 million as an NDC party, we have to run the country in such a way that another campaign.
Yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think I remember he said that.
You understand?
Yeah.
Another campaign. So you don't do a lot of work. Because here the two about we I told a few friends, me say NDC more how who crash on your campaign. They should just make sure that they should be vigilant because NPP are here money now the way that the fuel prices were even in election year, fuel prices were still going.
I think 3 days to the election.
How can you win?
Papa asked me that question.
You're going to win. It's not possible. Because I am more papanti expectations of Amembo papanti any
It's the same. Yeah. So you really, the two of you seem to agree, say this is not to strengthen anything or to curb anything, but do you also believe with those who the school of thought that Fifi is doing that to protect his seat? But let me ask you this: if indeed there's nothing in there, what is Fifi protecting himself in there for? He was a former member of parliament, and we had his stature and experience. He could be anything if he wanted to. I'm sure it's a baby would know. So no one to me call Lodina one. Even no, he doesn't need to go to Lodina. But the Mama was a president. I think Baba Jama every Nigeria. Famekwa, he's a fine, envoy to represent Ghana anywhere in the world. But he chooses to work with the party, have time for the party because he's not encumbered by anything. Oh no, it was always I think say. The media was there. Oh, me pass me was there. What one I was you have to have the time, no? What exactly are you using the time to do?
That is
you're a party. You are in government. You must not do anything on your own as a party. No. You must support the government to rule the country and rule it well,
so that we can win the elections again. It's a party there now. Because the various organizations they all have their PR.
Yeah.
Look at their Dr. Mwako Hineoye. Then PR and a chance.
Yeah.
So they are the party executive be
I change there, Dr.
Mwako. Oh, here their fellows of Fusuka Tinsu.
Yeah.
Yayewe, Sami Mamus, Yayewe, it's a party now. It is so sometimes when I hear CSC party executives, 80 radios who defend, what do you know? They have their own individual PR departments who are supposed to
run the government machinery.
Because right now the party is in government. So in a way, Rebecca said, it has transitioned from only government into government.
Yeah.
So it is no longer now talk, but to do. Into the doing and so even if you have anybody to do the work for you, they must be well resourced, they must be well informed, so that they can tell the people that this is what we are doing. But you can tell your story better. Who can defend Goldboard better than Sami Jemfi?
Sami Jemfi himself.
Exactly. And I'm sure Sami Jemfi will have. I'm sure there will be a PR department in Goldboard.
Yeah.
As I say, so what work is there to be done when the party is in government by the party executives?
I think I get you. But flip me about. Okay, sorry.
So I get worried when MPP focus no. Go back to the drawing board. Not too bad. Now we share NDC for mistakes or more. A year to the elections, come out. But says ya no move free about moon chain. Mama and Crofu ehumane. And you still talk about it. Me say kokwa, omo kakra na meti and I wonder what these people doing.
Okay, we will come to the cocoa.
Now to the because they are almost car. And I went when a PR who educated them because we free hardship money.
Yeah.
Now hardship no price is not your person form no.
and koi.
It won't take a day.
And now more and I'm modern Yaman, of course. So you cannot convince me that NDC took the dollar to 17 cities. Yeah. You cannot convince me that NDC took fuel to 17 cities. Yeah. And as a result, it was under MPP, that is President Kufuor reign. And I'm a inflation I'm a call university in school.
And when you do me economics near pay.
Because almost every time you could see prices be increasing.
Yeah.
You could see practically. What you say? Yeah. And you know Ghanaians, Obia Pesca, Inti, Adiano, what Pejamu Kosoro, Afi, Niamana boy, a Kosuru Nana, Ababa from Adentina maintain Yamano. So I feel a minusika. And you are using that to campaign
against.
And Tinamika said, the party, go back to the drawing board. Either 2 years to the election or 1 year to the election. Now, what Jumano are sorry, both the ruling and the opposition, so that we can have some quiet and peace.
Thank you. Now, I think I understand both you gentlemen position on ruling government try to separate the party from the government. I don't think it's as a coach it won't end well. That's how I'm beginning to feel from the two of you. But let's look at the opposition party now, MPP, trying to do same or similar. Say, you know, if Oman then the money appointed people in government now because they are in opposition. But me maintain but me take a crown. Pastor just say Oka polling station committee no one. To me is a polling station executive. I don't say there's a difference between a committee or something like that. Why would a party in opposition also attempt to, if like, put some barricades around who can contest for executive position within that party or opposition?
Nyame credit me media me who say MPP. This is why I confused.
See, do you have the answer today? So over the should MPP try to issue some communique of sorts? Say, okay, now that maybe I say wow, baby, and I say, we are buying position, biano, over pre-party position, or said the two.
So, what catch you say MPP next start here? I've already made that.
No,
again, if you quote it, baby, I think say me disagree, kakra. I think say separation of powers, no. Also, baby, you need to trickle down on something. Also, we advocate for separation of powers, the executive, the legislature, and then the judiciary. Same thing a party, no. So they MPP now we ruling government too. Yeah. They went to opposition. I think they learned a lot because we try opposition 8 years because it's easy. So I said, two siano maybe a frame. The moon say 50 years now, there's a reason behind it. When him, so a chief executive of Cocoa Board, we are CEO of Gold Board. You have a lot of resources.
Your monthly salary, somebody.
Sometimes people will be about the party people come to you. People go back telling other stories. Oh, ABR, as soon as you cry, or intention to do this, to contest this. Until be a honest and quiet, no, there MCC, no drawback. Okay.
So
that
we have
head the party. It has been rumored. Maybe at some count.
Yeah.
I come to you all the time. Then I go back and tell you, oh, I think say the way I've been I'm sure you'll be contesting for general secretary probably in the next election. If you have 50 quota, also a dedicated who say you don't want to have any friend say appointment to be bear in mind the lucrative friend say salary of Cocoa Board is over 100,000 plus.
Yeah.
So what I say?
Yeah.
Now, maybe say okay, maybe party because of party 80. Maybe I'm earning less than 20,000. Then I'm there. I'm hearing say I'm planning on earning that much. You know, it's come to contest me. Yes, you the pass. You check TVs. You check TVs.
Yeah.
Minister will be 20 TVs. Minister will check all those stuff. I don't have the resources to do it. It just say divide means that I have to make sure say.
So you think that for the protecting the home?
No, not or the protective party, no sanity. No. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
Or protective party, no sanity. Say the way obi betime nya I was so on appointment but the party adwuma no obi nya peace of mind to work for the party now also be for the government focus on the government. So that if the government is still in power, you still have your position. So why worry to come for a party?
And if we say any panel, what does it take away?
And I make a choice say, maybe to hold me appointment to be.
I said, maybe
I say, me pesa party no, me chamna party no,
yeah.
You need to go appointment.
Yeah.
Because saying you are a position. Because we need the hardcore people in the party working for the party. So that the party,
if you follow this as he says argument, he says, if so we a party in government, yeah, how do you separate yourself as a party from the government that you brought into power? Now there is nothing much like party. Every focus should be how the team or the so-called party will rule the country. It a dear Juman I was said who protected as sanctity as all the barricades to because the Juma was here about my or minus on Yamia Daroma, and they may send a party from who's in opposition as uncle training on one copesica manco for canon. And I'm saying young appointments war are by Munia, yeah, by Nabantino. Young for more casa now. It is not on the cost or the budget of the party because some of this PR requirement in Cocasa, 7 years this in Trianica as a party. A government, Ghana government, Trianica. But it's working now, it ignores the benefit of NDC. And if you allow those people to come for executive positions, easier as a way in this Kakrana, because already me see you and I say me MC, you know, me was Sika Kra, may benefit. The same Kama party no crack up Pesicazi and Panko Tufuano. You may meet my back, I say, me Kais, I buy the mammy. I buy to cars, you're the year, your party of my Yenche, or Ghana. One day argument and for the people. Because me all this while after say, you cool because go for to meet parts push back to me in Samboswa. If you want no more complaints, as I say, maybe you can look at that and close on this. Say, let's allow people who are into government lucrative or non-lucrative positions come back and contest for non-lucrative party executives. Let's allow. Ubia or Tinchen or a party bar. What is the opportunity to become CEO? That no against Nkono de, I be a Robina constituency secretary. And the CEO will be an as a PB, a free crying about consensus war, and I'm so what I want to know. I say, oh, a flamboyant cacra. What is the kind of this is the sky of my power politics. Can I Japan go to twist a good politics? All the others
were there 24 years I was
they can't open president. No, all the others know. Somebody's Kafama, over Tawe. So, no, it's a hundred money pana, on your party banner or passion to be feel disgruntled. He may be unconvented. At 1 people and conform Taka and the they were not looking for somebody to come and give them 1,000 a day and 1,000 every month. They were looking to be posted and as a position somewhere on Subeti. Now here we are. Kenny Japan was on about 3-4 boards, state boards. Abra, Kabra Japan not only state board biaso. So Kabra Japan has every reason to complain. Say party need the agent.
No, government appointments, party. Okay,
let's allow Chidi in.
Party
CJ wants to take his leave.
Party executive positions are two different things.
Okay.
Because the example that you gave was about government positions.
Okay.
3 boards, Nipa Bakun or board me and Sasso. These are government positions, and we are clearly editija.
Yeah.
But who are government? Then the party. Okay. These are anyadi crop. What did I say? Everyone say we were go board so we were Ghana gas board so and the no dear what's the push above so one is okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But and I can say the party position, the only I did back when I met me, I can say be a ukuta party position. Which mean maybe on the side in this maybe kakran. But that is also not guaranteed.
Yeah. You can't budget with that.
That is also not guaranteed.
Yeah.
I don't see the issue here. And my point again, just I will explain it, man. So once the party wins power, party ne government ni na ya
meji bako.
Yenye edumano. Nyen sum amani ye. Na oma san to abano amaye.
That's conclusive. Thank you very much. You want to take a bite before we
that make can say send a worker DJ. You see, political party no more and say, seems so monyanti system and angasa na see. I say, yeah, monyanti I say, party no, obey to me at the board bear tennis based on contribution
and expertise.
Exactly. Who's a skill set?
Yeah.
And who also on the skill set and the sika.
Yeah.
What you
gonna buy one be any of you.
And to know, on only the sika, no.
Yeah.
You don't expect say any pan fan to board back person. Because that's can also nyan is
back. On kwa topic 102.
Exactly. And they are my party no.
Now
what to say? Ah, also young pan to board so nyan just any pan. Na yan fa sani pa na nto so na wan san enya kakra enyi ska.
Next time no.
Better so a finance party.
Yeah.
Nti edwuma party political party na omo nkasa na ye no. Oso omo atiase. And now to better ya DJ pa be DJ because we contribution of the buy no. And who in no nya no.
Yeah.
What I say.
Yeah.
Nti no omo de at the omo party na win power de. No na party ni person omo position so na omo beso enye bia to wa support party no. Nti say the idea say nipa kakra bia hijack omo kwa na edidi na omo anyesa party no will not go. So I'm surprised say your friend say Fifi Kote no or this side way by NDC at this time.
I see. Maybe he will take a cue from here and revise the notes because some savory commentaries around him say he's just trying to protect his seat, but from what Mr. Say confirmed and what even I heard from Chidi Katia. I do my mayor into America, me the American question, I say me protect his and
I could see no crocodile woman is crying, say, you crocodile woman say, Fifi Kote na AFN say. I said no Katiano, so Munji pay and come on contra party office.
Party office, some cabinet.
What I say? They are cabinet cabinet meetings. Apart from that, they are minister no.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Then you come on back now. Fifi Kote Obejai send OMP no a deputy finance minister.
Yeah.
Orefi.
Ah, men kai.
Because Obejai say okay, say I'm party office.
Ndi kakra wo.
We do nya kakra.
There is something there.
Achas bibi no one come say who resign wa person here resign bra we see. Bibi but because of hormone I know na to be back out to the no. E na wonim ho no so we obian from on the public account committee for anything.
Who can't to anybody because
in Fifi Kote no bibi ni wa ko Obejai say o minister. Why former deputy minister no say okay say dem your party office. Enti sa onya isa hwehwe ni mo oye no. So atias oye hwehwe Fifi Kote ye hwehwe ni mo bi nan say but it seems say NDC ina I said hit be no that's all for no kan nyanko no so but na say me who say hit kakra ko no so I see onya isa hwehwe ni mo
I see but I know you gentlemen you are a social commentator as an expert because you did sociology. I think you and this guy and also a media personality and a legend on your own. We have not had you share your opinion on what happened into the MPP in the run-up to their presidential primaries. This is a very interesting one. I want to ask your opinion about 2 minutes on it. Which MPP raise your moko? Any 5 gallant men on the contest? Asim Bill Gates, Canadian Japan. I bet if Elon Musk, Brian Champon. Wale Adam Smith, Dr. Baumia. Bosom Shakespeare, Dr. Yawadishum. Any MPP historian, Japan. Now, all the fuss around, especially in Japan, on the so-called prophecies of he winning, being definite, an angel of God coming in, even though the polls were not in his favor, no, and all the seriousness Kennedy attached to his campaign, especially on his verbal attacks on Baumia's candidature, any results will go through mobile. Does any of it shock you or confirm anything you suspected? And I said, it was comedy as usual because I had a lot of fun with the whole process from start to finish. Chidi, I will invite you, don't worry.
Kwasi?
Yes.
Say, okay, say, surprise, me a surprise, my surprise.
Okay.
You see, politics now, yeah. Politics now, yeah. It's a party decided to say the year. Must forget to.
Ken said no.
You see, who's a Ken? There, Ken, none the strength no outside this.
No, never say
no.
Yes.
Yeah, you be say we support to Ken.
Yeah, about to be.
It is a be commentary na say say we there. But we share party structure in now. Why decided about me and the neighbor?
Ken had a problem with that. Do you realize that?
Also, you have no problem with it because you know they join. I didn't know why say we now why say we do the baba.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Exactly. Olufi say edru baby no oyusu ni sika e de boa party no.
Yeah.
Inti sa akonya beto a wo de mumbiem na enye fairness fairgrounds na enye na enko. But you see politics,
there's nothing like fairgrounds.
No. And only idea last let me tell you say I said conformity disappointing. Okay, me be shimi kakra. Because at this age, let's say why politics for all these years, let's say be surprised so there. Na me who that person wo chire. Come to that parliament for
4 years.
Exactly.
2000 to 2024.
Who before we win the first election, when the mafia works away.
Yeah.
And sana who win the first.
Yeah.
Election we are will be
the establishment had to side with you for you to win.
Because also we make sure say establishment not tie with chance.
That's how you can never win.
Every even primary school.
Yeah.
Into a say go be disappointed. Hey, what disappointment now can was by this time at this your age. Into no who say we will say on prepared enough for. Now on only near that fairness saying ordinary politician. Who say can mo e was Rollins mo charismatic appeal no.
Yeah.
Sa
Kroma
mo yi bi no.
charismatic
Sa
appeal.
ko for no de bia no e no my disappointed because system we no omo fit to system we ne dia. The system no so ka system no wan kontumi ngire be bia nkasa nche ne party da. Wan e ka sa system we hu a I just said e ba share this.
Never.
Because omo na system no omo atiase.
But Ken was at a point also on several boards. He was a chairman of the defense committee, and his wife was Christy, especially was on 1 or 2 boards, state boards where anywhere contracts, government, structured contracts, no bidding, one man.
I'm saying that Ken, people like Ken, Kwasi Mensah, Kwasi Asisi, myself, gentlemen, I mean, we are not fit to this system.
We wish that we have a different one right now.
You could tell me na yano bekasa. Sana Kente. So you to me kai honestly, say you who said wait to say pa bedding.
Yeah.
Sana Kente na Kente me no me kasa ti on one party say munim nyansa ne sana mani nyina. Obi a party person ya come Japan will never.
Yeah.
What I say on to me continue baby and kada. Nti Ken ye pe na shock wo.
Yeah. Were you not shocked?
Say,
okay, you're a sociologist. You understand.
No, I wasn't shocked because Sana ono no tie. Oh, say the nature no, and fit sa system we no. But unfortunately, no, I don't sa system no be fair move to be MP. But I don't know so interest system no.
With my
okay, time Ken you no tie Ken old videos ni na. Or starting here no, or criticize a party ni nyende. Long time. Nana Adwin Kramba no so be president. Say obi a na wa structure na adwin say obi president like sanya mani nyina onye.
Yeah.
So what is system na say? Into no no your foreign e was our system current system here operate. Anything the butia no. Because there's no way MPP will agree say somebody like Ken Mbeye president. Because for your president the opportunities na munya mo ba be ma munya no mo de yes and now quite. And Obiano will be support to Sadia. And some of them, I don't know, woman say they are there to enrich themselves.
Of course, selfish interest matters.
Sound a system, but Ken will not allow you. And as you cannot come and most of them will be. And to know, to me, behave to say, who can do the world here. What I think, I don't know, and there is a charade be, Obianim say, MPP for a cuckoo say, the neighbor.
Did they have to cook it? They didn't have to cook it. It's like that.
No, some say
yeah. Especially when President Mahama wanted to lead the NDC again, it was virtually no contest because all the party structures were in favor of President Mahama. NDC. Even though Dr. Dufo is a staunch NDC, Mr. Kojobosu is a staunch NDC. But President Mahama walked here. No, which my way man and what there was all Bekobi there. They didn't say Dr. Dufo.
Atomos, yeah. We call contesting. Credo run. Party may decide this into the Obeyabiano. In fact, what I say, I said, look at your national chairman.
Yeah.
Of course, you BBA. Start say when they didn't.
Yeah. So I don't know why Ken was acting as if he was surprised.
No, you see, and America said on your part of the system. But Wabetum, because you're a foreigner. No, a foreigner system anymore.
I get you. Because you make my time every 30 years.
Before
I bring my younger brother, let me ask you this. We all know what happened to those who attempted to use their popularity or even like their perceived popularity in their party to lead them. We have examples. When President Rollins was leaving the scene, Gusitano felt maybe or Ekoko was Asha Rollins Kakrenti, no against Rollins anywhere, or not the right person at SOD. Obede Samoa at a point felt entitled, Francis CM at some point felt and started visiting, and all the others felt say Mensah, say be one kind. I said the MP people to make a faba Omian Kayo. Meanwhile, Mensah had become vice president to President Rollins long before say Obabe president in 2009. No, Omwade at the morning and Nkusi Omaga. To the point, the former first lady, at the point she was the most popular woman in the entire country for a long time. Me, baby, I'm not no. I didn't have to watch her on TV. She came there in person. Oh no. Will be a kind of do. But on Ophelia, at the point of Ophelia say, as was sustaining the party now, or joins or Quabontia, party in Begun. Or Quabontia, me, there is also, I think, we're 0.3% to cry. You get me? MPP, Enya, somebody in the person of Alan Chematin. At the point, he felt that he was more bigger than the party. It is a Nyamendia, Enya, me come baby. Hoping, say, me, Waimu, Namadiako. Okoemuno. The national election, you have to 32,000. Now it's 300,000.
31,000.
31,000. Oh no. Should Kenya Japan be guided by this recent history, which he should be more familiar with because he stays with them? Now, say, you think, the following enough to cause havoc? We never say third force. Once you declare yourself third force, it means you will never win.
No, Kenya Japan, they are no. And he said, oh yeah, not dreams obey president, at a later time. One kutasa adwene all co-politics no me say no one dreams of a so yeah president.
Yeah, that is obvious.
A brew baby no, and I'll catch it and say, me pese me ye president.
It's me DBA. He said it himself. Yeah, he DBA.
Samren no a damage in home every.
But for me, why no fee?
How
did he damage himself? If some of his supporters were hang out, we were
me pronouncements and tokwa queen media war if Nkrofo ancestor one enya issue. I don't want to mention names.
Yeah, even some who are not offended him,
because in this society, we are penny mu now ni be a cry year no. To make a trust and now penny mu deserve now so ya kwana. They expect that
we are penny.
But na odi akoma pa e na ye say all the ku e di ama ne party.
Yeah, I think that one was also obvious.
Almost said the baby
I'm doing
e di ama me party.
Yeah.
Samre no na party no e benefit. Inti omo wonetiko.
And as omo
encourage ye. Say when it comes to the show, omo like
they included him as one of their communicators.
Exactly.
It's the open media house being
But something interesting. Guy be analysis be Miami. A friend na Kwasi it say no
yeah. Ghana Publishing Council, yeah. Authority, sorry.
Say she be say ye pese omo only presidential material be na ye ko fa obi a assembly ni ne ho e no bo atamils Satan me kofa Tamils ne ba na Tamils ni political winum crowd.
Lecturer from University of Ghana.
Same thing Akufo-Addo ye.
Yeah. We Bawumia.
Kofa Bawumia de ne ba ye. Satan na bibia enini.
You know, nipa onimu no bedo
na say sitting president edini ne support power chi na se aji utumpe. Ghanaians are traditional people.
Yeah.
Say your best in hadwin no. Edin.
I get that.
Eno ekutia alanteremantin no. Enyo say alanteremantin feel say me waya eno ekutia alanteremantin. Na say alanteremantin yawa no di no. Was that or expect say na Akufo-Addo ebe ta nachi.
Yeah.
Because omo course omo presidential winner, or though they were supposed to go for a second round or say run off no see what they made them mount because MPP no only this one. President Akufo-Addo I'm farm man no.
And I want to say solidarity over time.
Yeah. And ya.
But Akufo-Addo not seem to be.
But Akufo-Addo too, let me say that his hands was tied in a way, in the sense that Onodoko Chusu Bawumia and in politics, almost agreement be backstage,
Godfather pact.
So I am speculating.
Yeah,
I'm not saying for a fact. So it could be that if Bawumia bua wimia, be pushing emana aba,
pushing where aba.
Omomana Abeye, the presidential candidate
for the party.
I am not meaning facts.
No, I can support you with this. I think we said it on the other side. Then in 2016.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now, what to mean Kofano Abeye presidential candidate? Now we're free to cheat Abe Fawo and Antiramante. So Grana be support. He had to come and fight it on his own. But at that time, the president was so popular in the party. He was so powerful in the party. I say now I figurehead because at that time was president. He threw his weight behind Bawumia. It was done.
Did Danado do that? Did he throw his weight behind Bawumia openly?
But too soon
why am running mate?
That is the support.
He didn't have to write anything.
No, he didn't have to say my son in some way. Why you the running mate?
Yeah.
And no. But weird man. So and once the party, and then also Bibi Boa Bawumia. The Boa Bawumia say na obi can say MPP a camp party, MPP a camp party, MPP a camp party. Into no Yamfa Bawumia nko na sa perception no. Yenye hu adwuma mu say MPP no enya a camp party.
Yeah. They had that conundrum.
Good.
They needed to prove themselves. Yeah.
And once the MPP fono, Tisesena Papa Kaina, had made up their mind that it was Bawumia, all these things went against Ken. To be very honest with you, Ken wayad there and Kese say Dr. Bawumia, unyama hama vote me.
Sure.
Nka Ken anya adwuma ko benya President Mahama vote ni bia or your man overwhelming I'm saying 90-something%,
98%.
But Kenny why there say the votes no appreciate and I don't know who the onene kasa men can say or attack Bawumia because the party no support Bawumia into any attack on Bawumia
no attack on the party
and the delegates
I think Musa Danka warned him.
You see,
but the day after he came down to double down on the attacks on Bawumia.
Good. Ain't Kennedy Japan problem no. He's a fine gentleman, fit to be a president, but he made the decision late. Now person your president that Ushano. And now we fast hadwin. We went to sa anamono
every step of the way.
What did I mean?
You misled. Yeah.
If you call a you will school a walk, your casa walk, and your ma way. Until we ban you say, okay, we know only have fun.
Nana winner.
And look at President Mahama.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Obia say oh.
Satan no President Mama on kasante obia.
Never.
Ono obia no
He's a perfect gentleman.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sana system ne pen.
Media banter be but hardly would you exchange any kind
So
of
so all communicate
exactly.
Or kasa.
Yeah.
Obia esa na MPP. Obia penase.
Yeah.
Obey communication.
Yeah.
Everybody loved him.
Yeah.
It is handy way. You know, see, or see, class, two for crack a friend.
At the
So
point.
I'm even we crack Mami we Nana Kulendra Jama Rollins. Or see, no more per se, Nama Hama ye running mate to Obisano 1 penny in a year 1 year. Into no one in the or penny yeah. But President Mahama Bechir said they go foul or 2 force.
Yeah.
So you see, that is it. It is not Croatia Kennedy Japan. It's not too late. He can still make things better. No reason I'm saying he's also he made into my
And there's issues of where I came from him. He looks like AI, but I'm finding it hard to accept that Ken will go to a photo shoot and adorn himself in Muslim clothing just to wish Muslims happy whatever Ramadan or something.
He's not that.
That's cool. We can show my gentleman that photo. I think it's in our group. And I was also back for Ash Wednesday and we for Christians. Out to me say, special artwork. Why to communicate a certain message. So it tells you say, if what you say was certain term, would you say be a to abandon but from some of these things, it tells me the man is not giving up yet.
No, Kwasi Mensah. Who say after no concession speech.
Yeah.
Who saw Kasembi say empower or say
between now and 2023 is a long time.
I think will be in mind.
Yeah.
But will be in him.
Now that's the base. We can introduce that talk.
So
there are people who call themselves the base who are calling for Kenya Japan to, if like, break away and form his party, more or less.
It will not help him. Because nyama bebre sisi ya obi a oyes abia na farmer no. E na Ghana ha no sisi ya wo mu. E be den say MPP ni NDC sa duopoly no obetimi break through.
In most democracies it's duopoly.
Nti no I will not me need position to advise him but some obi a me be pen asem pa say me new opportunity na me catch
for shaggy reasons.
Yeah, for shaggy reasons. Men can check and say on kosa koso nya.
Then beyond this, then what else is in his mind? They know
obi enim no
dey.
Oh, say ebi a ono Yankopon aso no da ye bi say yesi nyina
na
so say eden ya obi a obetumi aba.
Yeah.
Ebi ono na ebekọ.
Yeah.
Nti no ebi a saa nema no saa conviction na obi a wo.
And they must be asking him.
And I was video more ye or prepare no for Sanya. It said we are
see that.
So wash it. It's no
almost doesn't be said that.
Maybe can you on no best first or best it means that oh be one but sir any them in your shows I can be MPP.
All right.
What I'm expecting, though not likely, I'm not speaking on facts. And there may be many to form Ashen. And I hope it doesn't happen. Because it's here ever had. Say Ken, Brian, Alan,
yeah,
and Omakan will team up.
Or would team up.
To team up.
And maybe cheddar
and form a party.
That's another third force, same third force.
That a hard thing.
A MPP more. But these are MPP figures.
A hard thing.
A MPP, a hard thing.
Min kasa a hard
and these people will rejoice.
Min kasa a hard thing. Sana mi huno. And that was what I'm expecting. I hope to say Nkusi. Because these people are strong.
Very. Financially.
Brian is strong.
Yeah.
Ken is strong.
Yeah.
And calm.
They have a lot following.
And then when I listen to, is it Professor Frimpong? Dr. From Boating.
Boating,
The pronouncements. Any now.
Tamaklo. Any Arthur Kennedy.
Yes. And it looks like former President Kufuor Nkrumah also now are quiet.
PP.
So I hope say sometimes Dr. Bamian so sometimes the kasa ne bi owa many ade me twam
Ekutia na ene mu nkatra.
Twam na omo kwese omo ehia. Because Dr. Bamian Dr. Bamian with all these people on his side, not Okoye, the performance name you. So he still needs them.
Yeah.
At least he still needs them. And then the NDC to make some mistakes to push him up.
Which the NDC is seemingly starting to make. Making the mistakes or making the mistakes.
Yeah, any president, how many brab?
And the blame not making mistakes. That's all.
That's it.
All right, you pause for me, sir. I'll come back to you. We have been joined by one of my regular panelists, Mr. Chidi. You know, sometimes not all the time. I mean, resource persons. So we have a in-house team. We try to keep our program running. As and when even your senior brothers need on account. Chidi Richard is one of us. He has Nigeria Ghana heritage, but proudly Ghanaian. Krachi, what would you say? I know your opinion about Burkina issue. You can rest now. But you're party in power trying to separate positions in party in power from government positions. You may take a bite on that. Now, if you are in fact, this one we have had exhaustive opinions on it. Kenya, Japan, and the threat of the base as a free party. Quickly touch on them and then let's move on to our final topic.
Oh, Kwasi Mensah, I think say before I remember na meet penny for na omo kasa fine. And you see, it is a party that form a government. It is Accra, a Obani Bema Nishia, now crying Abba. So there's no way Accra bit back as widen. What Ponema is or Fajinabia and so Sijinabia, at least or betting widening, Eddie Achen Mammy. So Abano any party in Timikas or Muyom who are free. And I said you want to separate the party from the government. Because over the years, this party executives has been attending to cabinet meetings. Why do they go to cabinet meetings? It tells you that the decision that the government will take, can affect them directly, and the vote that they'll be getting outside them. So, in order for them to still have influence, then okay, why don't we separate ourselves so that even though when we separate ourselves when we go to cabinet meetings, we will have our say, so that we will still feel powerful because we are also having a group of people that we are controlling. And it will be very difficult for you to do such a thing because the people that are in government were the same people that helped the party to come to power. And you were trying to sideline them or shut their mouth or gag them from coming to contest. In other words, some of them will feel better. Say, even say the Marco good work, it doesn't limit my abilities and capabilities to still communicate because there were incidents when the NDC government came to power. Their communication was trying to have a certain deficit and quickly Sami Jenfi stepped in. We all saw the shake-up in the system.
When was that?
When the gold board issue started.
Of course, that is his area.
Forget about his area. The party communicators, some of them were struggling to communicate.
That's a specialty area.
Yes.
And it will be
it's a specialty. But the nature of Sami Jenfi is a versatile person. He understands every aspect of the economy. So even though they were experts in NDC who were trying to communicate what he understands, but they were so struggling. So he needed to step out. Imagine you say this cocoa issue about. Now Sami Jenfi decided to step out and look at stepping in. It will change the narrative of the conversation that we are having today.
Does he have to do now?
He has to. Because when
Randy is
it's not only Randy, even if you could understand agriculture to get it. But with Sami Jeff, he resonates with the youth, resonates with all the generation that kind. So Oka Simbia, he's easily that he can easily convince you as well as world market price I drop it.
You see that?
Tell me I'm crying.
It's they shouldn't make an attempt because they were telling the NDC some of their Baba Jama example was a parliamentarian at the same time.
Yes.
And they won election.
At the same time, what?
Now, wasn't he the
constituency?
no. Was he a youth organizer? How would I do so also this similar? He was MP and at the same time youth organizer. Didn't the party win the election?
They won.
They won.
Sorry.
So the first say MPP, it was only Adenta MP, Awabia Samwana, Ilusu.
No, a secretary.
Or a communication director at the same time MP no. Because Muni say he was not strong. But the NDC were having people who were strong enough.
Combining government positions with party positions.
Haruna did it worked. Baba Jama did it worked.
But let me ask you this: you can give me a straight yes or no answer. Has Jamil Sami Jemfil live up to his task as communication officer, national communication officer of the NDC since he assumed office at CEO of Gold Board? Or share the Juma no way all the time I know Nyanya Gold Board executive. Now what you say almost every day was party day. But if he says hard in the mind genuinely, which is non-intentional, even if it's intentional, it's genuinely intentional. Say, to be any party day baby. Don't you think they be a nubi and Fifi another party now who said the brand uncle for more post now. Party
I will say no, because every party has structures. And before they come into power, they have structure as to how they are going to make sure that the communication directorate is still in a run. You saw how he was they were forming Gold Board, but his communication team was still effective as he used to be in the opposition.
Okay, so he didn't have to be there in person.
He doesn't. As a leader, no. So would there be just want to be because then you're a field leader. At least you need to also phobia when you want to it carries the weight as you are. So what I'm saying. It is and Sami Jemfia could shake Gold Board. It doesn't mean say phobia. At least on the structure to come. Look at their Facebook, their social media.
It's always
communication bureau. It's still active.
Always active.
It's still active. Just say they are and you may go on my it is very difficult to defend. Even class a bit to say reduction Abayane say a world price. But the cocoa farmer doesn't understand or not world price. Oko kaso woman is 70% FOB. Only a friend FOB. There are some who know FOB. But not all of them know FOB. The agreement was that you campaign that are buying our own is into Babede, Oberman the Papa. Now buying a Papa, the Baba, what is so now? Oh, catch and say the next woman is on Tiasi, on Tisa and Nasi. What the buyer side there, we may understand you. But the corner side, on the Tiwasi. That's why you need a communicator or no, or to me, the Nasi, at your Modiana, so will be a dainty saying ABCD.
Yeah.
And where the NDC has got into, they still know there are people who are in government.
All right.
Look at the way Mustafa Ban did not Osipe.
Yeah.
But Oba Benuno, he's still doing his deputy, running as operations or flash house, SRBN party. So I think the NDC should reconsider.
Okay.
Though it's the MPP that leads certain reforms, and there are reasons as to why in Tiamuka say Bia or Burma and be party position because you are exposed to a lot of resources. You heard a C 2023 be able to even the recent
by justification we say, and I think I agree with him, especially coming from MPP for internal primary. Sometimes Jessica and as Jessica and they decided to win the election because the Omokotono primary sources are saying that Japan gave everybody 700 cedis.
I'm not talking about opposition. I'm talking about incumbent.
Yeah, even incumbent. And I'm saying is you may have or you may be exposed to all resources and things they be all resources in the about consequences in our chairman of eternity. I have about no be antumau.
But the narrative is changing. It's now monocracy. The highest bidder we see. It's now changing. The high bidder and this generation, and we say over the years, you discuss. It is obedu echina or penny share.
Yeah.
and a politics way I bet you say interest say me interest and say some could NDC and MPP china say me ban the meeting to idea we are
and hear me.
I will follow you because when you say me ba idea am person me to na bia mo hu scan e bo no e bia wo ba so be ba from me nya scan that's my interest obon me any interest so bia we different interests what am I saying
Then should Ken continue with the base and as a base
I said it why my senior said sometimes you may see yourself so you're popular. People may say, oh, bra, similar thing happened. It started from, I think, 1996. Victor Usumani MPP more time. The man who break away from the MPP now, or that time was UP or Koy, no, I'm talking about the 90s. The British president wrote some racial.
79.
Yes, Liman. Okay. That man was very popular in Ashanti region, well known, but he was shocked on the election day. Only BC NDC time, Guzitano left. Yakubu left the MPP. They were all popular. They thought that their popularity or their fame will win them certain number of votes. But they did well because everybody is loyal to the party. That's why I say untimi nte ho furu ma me no papa ho we dey ho furu na furu na eden e ba ye woni sunsumo na eden e kata us ba wo furu ase a hu ma eden e ba wo mo ti ase nyina ne ma me ne papa sunsum na eden e kata no so ne ma me ne papa furu ase so asase so o yemre but se wo na wo ma wo nim say de bi de wo ma me no papa sunsum betime se wan sha ase an sha ho den e hu se ne bi a obekwan ti na okode times a ne ma mi jaro no na ko pe be bi atena se ne ba ne nyeden embo ne bra okodi so du be bi na watene ho no ko pan won ne foforo ututi ase so person president you need to have certain ambition okasa your utterances outside there people may like you at that time because say it was in favor of the party you say oh kan wagene but the same people will now what do I now see kan wagene to o man for cry to meet na TV so I can say, oh, MPP say. Not only that, you take on certain people that you shouldn't have even taken them on. Yeah. Now, can see me for more. People will reconsider. Say, if this person becomes a president, look at what Trump is doing to Americans right now. The people that said they needed him, no, some of them have regretted. Was he?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Thank you, Richard Chidi, for your analysis. I don't know whether he's a Gen Z. He's the X, or he's a millennial, but he's a product of KNUSC, also a sociology scientist. Sometimes his analysis are wonderful to me as well. But next one is radio. I'll be focusing more on you two gentlemen. Is that what is a speaker? I say or more reintroduce you LGBT bill no every president inside. Do we really need LGBT MRB or and when the shape and form, and especially the proponents of that bill, no, the way almost see promote to bill now. Most of them language, are intemperate, lack of respect. The way they refer to gay people, they talk about them as if they are animals. For morning, my good friend Sam Joe, the Honorable Minister for Communication now. Tim Fojo, he doesn't talk bad, but he's always quoting scriptures to defend that anything gay is animalistic and should not be brought into society. Is Ghana at a verge where if you don't produce a written document, legal framework to curb LGBT issues, our country will turn over, a culture will get lost, their values will get lost. And I said it was a trap to trap the NPP out, and the NDC wants to play the same card and use the same excuse and say, it was not supposed to be introduced by private members, executive in Edinburgh. I think I will be asking you that, but let me read some messages I have here. Don Willie say abroad party. That's what I saw in one of his video. And can Japan seven been a broad pass? Or I can say Don Willie. Don Willie, I know you are all the way in the US or Canada. Whether good afternoon, good morning, good evening. You are very much welcome. Thank you for joining us. Let me see our TikTok feed as well. TikTok, we are beautifully surprised by our traction there. People come in troops and they engage forever. Facebook. Well, I don't have much messages here also. So let's continue. Mr. Asise,
Yeah.
do we need LGBT bill turned into law and signed or assented to by the president to curb a menace that all of us can finger in society that it is going on? And we can spare the president from this unnecessary headache and let him rule, because I heard him say, Miss Maka, your tradition, no papa taka, your tradition, your city and Casano, deterrent enough. Emma Obia Yegea, Unchmin, the whole publicly said, we are not butchery, and I don't know. What do you see unfolding?
Percy,
Sir,
I have brought no Marcofas as in winning abo. And I am in till almost the entire almost person near my a share come. Because near to baby. So be a den, so be a den, fire home. Never make kite. It was again this school now boy be by, and that was a miss school. Any who saw the ma few to know I see no I. Na oja school no. Obi amono. Obi amono obi anya mi obi anya mi. Nobody dey ma so. School no mi o. Obi aka no obi anya mi o. If you say no, you say environment no woman no. Fa. But you say man on so wo ye.
Supi.
E wo ho.
Yeah.
Until we name the entire all of a sudden almost say we want to seek recognition. No seeking recognition. Say what the idea.
Say when the how pass we recognize.
And then you see the act itself enko. And the recognition also no enko. Meaning say they are making no. What you see?
I do.
Oh yeah, what dia? Who dey what the FSC? And from because the obi e one dem we dey. Obi e hu. What did I mean? Obi ni me yere kura no. Omo dam a. The omo ye no hu no. Adi so oba no ko police station because me ko you.
Another kwante now.
Oh, you me.
And so for my adazo as well.
To be very honest with you, the uncle for the omo here in private need. I really don't see how the law comes in, because in Ghana, how are they going to enforce that law? Because there were laws be brave. What do say Ghana? So one we a them and one show bar. If to me to work to then name on more from my doors.
Baby.
I'm round ho.
If it will be just be footballer.
Honestly, you know. Yeah, because we have a friend unwritten in this our society. Yempe. Honestly, me no, I really don't. Me feel say a distraction, keke. And okay, baby, it wasn't something LGBT. And you know the PAMO MPP no more about bamu ne it can't. They be American. Me say President Kufuor said it. Also show bottom not to abapa. And no from a sitting not to abapa. That is what has been determining the vote pattern in this country from long.
I think Otupo even said it.
When President so we are way, so we are embezzle way, so we are way. Until me say, and no because and not the more canon, you be an so send pacono, or bet to aba. Tell me what children are, or bet to abanetia. It's as simple as that. Into LGBTQ na acquire very dicey, acquire bibi oho. You know exactly. I don't think as I say a higher on that matter.
Okay,
you understand?
Yeah.
Because so you be a dear not on par. In fact, there must be consent.
Yeah.
In the first place,
especially among adults.
What I say, and there's a law which says that if you are below the age of 16, you cannot even consent. You're wrong. You cannot do it. If you are above the age of 16, you need me to agree before you can do whatever you want to do with my body. The law is already there.
Yeah.
This will be correct report. Not the person will report. So honestly, me feel say media. Honestly, I think
very well. I don't think say you have deviated from your position all this while. You have always been consistent. say sa embra no ne hyehyɛ to hɔ no pressure bi na kwa fast the way ba but enye papa let me take it from you abrofo see young besides the question no say recognize people like that. Recognize, how do you as a nation say I recognize people like this? Recognize not just saying which matter I am a human and I am a quiet no say one bra we are nantiache na omunyina acho they are all in the same spectrum, you know. They want to live together. Was a penny to number why am I romance all them and as a court to bear near the day. So why are we here? Why that needless pressure on our own selves says here yembra at the cable tribute to money supi?
Yo, Kwasi, embra we no. Yeah. Ghana say dear base. Yes, say. Yeah, embra say. Yeah, penima sound the man nkoso nya. Say the embra na ye ne
yeah, basically.
But broni de nkono say yen ji sankofo no ntum nya accept omo in the society no. Say na obi ntumi mo. I think say omo nyansa no eto asum sin ye de na ye nyansa na ye de hyembra say yempene sai no opini omo yo be nti waste time akwatena parliament debate ya the bill ni hwan ni nyina na just useless nyansa bi enim sa parliament na wotena angaza na wo ye we na wo some judge mu na yempene ma brofo ni say sa parliament na brofo parliament na bi na wo use omo system na wo use
yeah.
Now no am sa system na actually who nyansa say no some time ago na ye kura na yemfo so say sa anyama na be koso ba ya tra say who say we dey ya nipa be
yeah.
Intino for us as a society betimi aye policies ye policy this be factors ankofo ni nyina no because so who say okay there are this section of enkofobi group we mu system
yeah
nti ye mre bia na especially health policies ni we ni nyina no o say factors ankofo ni nyina nti ye create ndre be hu the kind of ndre be ka bro ni hu ta nyansa no bro ni no blow sa parliament bro ni onu
aba fro ho empi no
ama wo botai kwatena wo shefugu kwatena parliament wo fra wo say no
honorable no
ono na Dubai
yeah
some years ago no mpene sa na
yeah
but who say you get such people in the society
yeah
because we bibia no we be
say to me
before ansana say yakwa adwe ba so ne kojo besia ne sa na ne bi o
da
be ma pa ba no why who say oba
nyesa no
we ne den yetumi bu omo wo ye be ma ba ye ba still nya ono o de nam no mu no sa na detect
yeah
what you say on shada asa me ye me hu so oba o but enema na nam no mu na ma no ra na as a person no eno na ma no behave sa but that time no boni nya sa nhwe hu no
omukra konso kunkum bi chichi bi ye je de pass ye wa hayi
but omu hwe na no say gogo na we de ya sa no be yo because the system no
sanity
ompe sa ne the opposite sex no ntino mo sa amra we mu hye nyina no mo hye de ayede because mo hye kwa people do it and na akwesi me hu say sankofo num o ma so mo say o nam krom say ye
ho bi da
ana so aba force obi say
chinchina bra na me no na ana so mo de mra bia ba say wow we be bia ja oba na kofa be ma
yes and it what it me waste time yes politically obetime use so tia aban no but useless and nembremu 2026 so we a politician officers and you obi na obetime aye to win election then you are joking
by work Mr. President
didn't work I'm telling you obi obeka sa asen bia Ghana ni bia no obeka say we koto aba because na kufu ado and science abil
and I say there be am pam people ahwa mo ebeji atumti no yempam
that was used to what the 97 million no koto amona keke so we say asore dan abra nkofo sa palugu dam no we ye kenyina over $12 million you dam here me
yeah
it is a fahin we say no money you don't expect Ghana for ye jimi kra na at that time now say no money why no ma ye hunya sabi kekese da bi kofo omu take it for granted and no so mo concentrate mo body economy no mo njai sa LGBT ni sa na mo we mu na mfa so bi eni so it will not change anything.
You two have been very consistent on the subject. Yeah, tell you, we have been talking about this thing for more than 10 years now. Since somewhere 2015. And it's been a long time now. And Kofobi, let me make an analysis. Say, you be mrampo to, if you like, control, because Kamia is a BBA woman where they have the control. If you have control LGBT crana, it should have some humane face to it, to just accept without admitting. Say, Sand and Nipano, EBT.
Of course.
Papa was in the attack because not all things are made for us to understand. Why would a full grown man who has all the features of a handsome man with all the beautiful women in the city say, or baby or baby, name no nya or bepe. Say, Yanko Ponko Bonunya and soon in the baby beside. Then we come here and say, Busia, on my way, no, say the Indian city, no. Wouldn't you mean yet, Mohon said the Winuano, say America? Eti sorry yeko kata work up no man ka se ma give for ma o ba se wo be ma me nu ba be jabon ta be fi ma no se de mo Paris ya mo ye ne de ye ha wo ya ha be ku eno no mo shi wallet na nkrofo anti ase no in Israel krana Sam George ne dodo na sa relevant team for jo nyame firi no Israel for the gate they mo muntu me ngware wo because Israel judge and Israel so for be anwa me na ma no kwan se wo shira give for aware so na nyame ye madon na munya sika kopie London na US omudo mu makwan na mu ye mawe for na mu betimi aba abetina Israel be amotie no as couple nobody will chase you and as ye nyina so you will deal with Ghana has you tell we gay doctor why had na obi abeka say why you report we gay no go dey you floor you see that ye humane face be say the now can majority must rule, but minority interests should be protected. It's not always in parliament. You can why we say because as democracy in Guadia, there will always be some minority. We have to protect them as a society, as a civilized society. But what if the language of Sam George, Reverend Fu Amoni, the boxing commentator, and Reverend Tim Fojo, and all the other proponents of the bill, how they presented the whole thing to the country. What I say, Sam George, a language now they describe give for. I tell you what, check your but that's his speech. They are animals, they are this, they don't. Forward quite the West, but all forward, what Tanzania, free. You couldn't be quite a brave because of what you say, a dead body.
A case, almost a
case. You know, you freedom. Yet, you need Tanzania cry. Yeah, fighting with our small voice. Tanzanians must be civilized because a human being.
Because it's Ghana cry some years back.
Of reading,
no free accept you.
It was a be
but it drew like Nipa drew baby Nipa says almost so a part of us. Into form when you now we can some minority group and there who start who begin fight
his speech about another
minority
because a one. So, the body language the back be to be a you too. The couple by some human face big a cry. You bet me say, okay, gay parade, Ghana, to be the would to be ordinarily, remember the background, apart from maybe couples. You cry, you the baby, you for us or them. What was the we did a my friend, more than 1 minute. It's you know, set me a gay conference, gay, gay party, gay parade, there. Maybe you are not done there yet. You just off one Ghana and Abrano and Judge Bia say or issue marriage certificate to gay couples. Oh, yeah, member. Then we can recognize gay couples who may have come from somewhere. And mind you, and they got to be at the hell. They got to be actually own here. You got to be obey 27 years. You can what they own or hard one. Ibu US. As Asubano, or we accept it to know what they would have done. Say the pardon. The nationality, the man is a you be kodo kutadua or say British no beja but the nationality no while lusu. Say the pay dachibi was it or tech hub and now we be Ghana Silicon Valley be with that interest now. You for the true Buddha Odido and Casa over the and because you had a gay to man. These were the elements some of us had with the proponents of the bill. What I'm trying to say is that if they can introduce a human face LGBT bill to regulate and curb excesses of that movement, fine. Other than that, they should just stop it because.
Say me say yetenasi ni ejitum say eden was some minority no wa. And no ye policies bia government ye policies bia be factor. But see ano
What they say, you don't even want to recognize their existence.
But they are there.
It was no reality any bala. And no, I think it's a mono. Nam say one can be more by one to know. And you won't dangers the cool, and then the Subano would be cool.
What I say. It's Sunny, okay, say you won't go for a security system.
Yes.
Into a buying, I recognize this uncle for
yeah.
Your uncle for Bisa, Eddie Umber no
is a cigarette in your money.
In your money. Into a buy can a cran bra, and also make health policies be or consider uncle for in our account. The make what I say. Because a buyer recognize it, say you won't conform your smokers and one cigarette. I do a parliament.
If you want to be as a
what I say. And so a baby say now, a society no build you. Society should build consciously.
Yeah.
We gonna be biara. So what I say. Into no, sir, a modern who say some populace say you be no more, some George ne, scientific one, one no more, you know. God, you know. Ensasahwe bibie ne wo betimi asesa no
tabe de be wadwe bi se do moye no e betimi affect o man no negatively for shoes negatively and the international ratings negatively because all our shemra na pass o chese sa ankrofo no nipa omo did not deserve any attention or any help from the state, you know. It means that think, you know, we are about 300 years behind.
No,
they adults there. I don't see anything wrong there. And so, so we have some messages now. They are pulled up. Let me quickly go through. And I must commend our followers on TikTok. Say, you people are doing marvelous. I have about 21,000 people already in here. Okay. A message in also. God did is saying watching you from Stockholm. Stockholm is it Sweden?
Sweden.
Yeah. Thank you for doing the watching. God did. I love Ghana is saying close our borders. Maybe he was talking about this Burkina issue. We can't close our borders, my dear. People must leave. Others must also enter. Dr. Perfect say advise yourself, Daddy. I don't know who he's talking about. Okay, maybe he was referring to Papa Sami. We left power with $14.75. I say you made a reference to a dollar at
I didn't say they left power.
At a point it was 70, sister.
I said I didn't say they left power.
I get that. Yes. I said at a point it got to $17 and 17 cedi per dollar. And
that's a move.
Dr. Perfect say we are starting now. Okay, let's see the start. The PSC is a broadcaster with assumptions. I don't know what he means. I free say this is the veteran broadcaster. No doubt he referring to Mr. Asise. Asise should be celebrated. That is coming from S3A. Kobe say I like the last submissions. Kobe came back. Alan Bryan Ken teaming up is really a threat to NPP. That is what he's referring to. That's something he likes. For shaggy reasons, you know, I like it. You know. Mahamo 67 say I'm enjoying your show. Thank you, Mahamo. Kobe say you can't compare the 90s to 2026. We can. You can compare 3,000 years ago to 2026. I don't know why you people think like that. Kobe saying information travels faster today than the 90s. Social media is really playing a key role. I think I agree with you on that. Guy Jengo. The point is NDC took advantage of that and that they are in power. I'm sure it's referring to the LGBT. Mr. Sisse and my good brother is saying that MPP, I don't know who that. The LGBT, we ain't the right to move so because we to move about a year 27. I want to 500 what I have time. Come on, I don't know what got to your first Francisca said she just got the number 3 viewer badge. Say great, you guys are doing well. I'm watching you from London. Okay, so these are some of the messages in your free TikTok. Thank you. Facebook could also be your time. I think my time is almost up. I've been getting signaled about 2 times now. Gentlemen, now 1 year after NDC assuming power, compared to 8 years of NPP is incomparable because one is a long of time we have no chance. But potentially, what do you see? Is the NDC going to write a better story than the NPP did in 8 years in the next 4 years? Let me start with Mr. Asise.
Mr. Asise.
Sorry, Mr. Abua.
Agozi,
Yes, sir.
1 year of NDC, I think we see hope.
Okay.
As compared to the 8 years here, maybe I'm say some of us, me into Abada. But the way no, I drove all the way to Sekedi, Chrome, to register because I wanted to vote against MPP. So you see why I'm saying LGBT, these are
Okay.
MPP lose. Because I was before MPP be free power no.
Yeah.
We a driver. Who to fuel no fuel net to say.
Atiasi.
Na
Atiasi, argument
so
time is
and I make say so there is hope. You see hope.
Yeah.
Say, but I think that NDC to me are better than the beer your my crisis here.
Very well. You see, Odobrodi, Eddie Papashi, wow, body. Obo initiative said, Team Legal Wives, we pray, we move. Obo, sorry, Oboyama, intercession, prayer, Oboyama, Mrs. Akosia Sewa Fusuno, ever such a.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
nice.
Papashi, Mrs. Akosia Sewa Fusuno.
Akosia
nice, and I over there.
Oh, say, sorry, Omuhiam Pai won't tell. Say, I mean, I go through a lot. So, almost me organize this intercessory prayer manner. I think it's in order. For our bread. Oh yeah, bread. I go say it's not easy. See, what a time in you nka make be pa.
Maybe Friday we can.
Yes, but because I some no them were interest.
Very well. That's nice. Because I see. The 1 year of NDC
has been fantastic.
Allah.
For a long time, and I mean, Kabibi, before Yebe Tuaban, na Yetikabi, as I see it, only back on the say, but this kind of do what this kind of my CD, but you'll say on charging interest rate, $, so you didn't go for bidding come on.
And we have about 57 interest rate for the attention.
Na yene nkofo bi didi nkomo na say and obia can said dollar mafom. In the history of this country, dollar and mafom. Na ayedi. So NDC dropping the dollar to where it is now tells me that they are in full control of the economy, and especially with Yesikano.
Okay.
And any government that is in full control of Nisikano has gotten the magic one, the magic one, because no any decider.
Akosa se wa sorry Oboyama ni
nyabutere mame we hear me we ni hear me.
Well, we say we should do time pa. That's what so.
Mase. Akosa se wa
Papa she was always Thanksgiving.
Honestly, for me, I think that they should let this whole thing rest. How much you want to do? Sana me meka.
Oje yiro.
Say
a yiro.
Ben.
That's it. Chidi,
Kwasi.
Yeah, we are going. We say MPP this. I don't want can. I won't ask you the same thing. But I question say the Papa she would give you a concentrate. Is it necessary?
My mom shares in free NDC. They are doing well. They are doing just that this cocoa issue, and making it difficult for them to communicate because full about from the money say
and not 1.5 150 would do half time.
That's a cocoa over from now say world market then people will start be questioning. So they should sometimes some of the narrative too they should get it right and explain certain things to them. Because something, I side with the people who say that something, a variable that you don't have control over, you shouldn't politicize it because anything can happen to you. The last 8 years, no mobile, they started like this. There were signs of hope. Brush. So I want to challenge the NDC that if the sustainability is what everybody is talking about, that we know Ghanaian politicians, when you start singing praises into their ears, that's why people are some bootlickers and single fans. You know, when some of them start singing praises into your ears, a time where I relax, but when people start pointing out loopholes in your administration, it helps you. And Papa Shimo, I decided what my daddy is saying. Hey, what is yours? At the last time I said, what is yours can never be taken from you.
Yeah.
Right? It's
not always true.
That's what I know. You see, nobody can run down the fact that you suffered with this man before. And what is yours?
But they succeeded
with it, and nobody can succeed facts.
And no puna make papa ne wu.
Man, collecting rest.
So we are non chese no. We are nyama bebre no, you see, nobody can take whatever belongs to. It's not always true.
It's always true.
Sometimes I did to me different with him.
It's the DNA is on Jeffrey.
I do for so you need to.
So what is he?
So Obia require first expressing emotions.
Yeah.
So you cannot. The point is that I don't want people to say unchasu because I need to express it.
I have to vent it.
Send a man who told me.
Yeah.
So what can say me guys who are these are what cut me.
You want me to die early?
What is she crying for?
And no no one can say
Very well. I hope we can have these five gentlemen again. But I can't bet.
As when you TBC.
Oh, that guy. So I was a team for the I have for. Yeah, about to say the body try Afro City Extra Wednesday edition of Live in the evening show. And then I had here in the studio. CJ was here earlier. Richard Chidi came back, but our August visitors today had been my good friend Mr. Papa Kwasi Mensah, former CEO of Hazakes and now CEO. But I'm not going to repeat the former again. Now CEO of New Biase Stars. And then we had media mogul. Mogul, the other kind of my mogul. Maybe was a bigger mogul, but he's mogul in every sense of the term, and a legend and a fine personality as far as public or mass communication is concerned, Mr. Kwasi Mensah. Thank you, DJ Nasco. Thank you, everybody. If you are catching for doing the production, we shall meet on Friday. I hope it's Friday. Give it to me as I.